From the heart of Zimbabwe to the nations of the world, voices are rising. Stories of resilience, stories of vision, stories of purpose. Welcome to the Voice Amplified podcast, where Zimbabwean excellence is celebrated, leaders are empowered, and destinies are awakened. This is more than a podcast. This is a continental movement.
But can I always tell you, chichinoita my musicians up here?
I think politics and then kuimba zvikuenderana nenguva iyoyo. You know, like vana babacharamba tevateerera tiri vana vadiki zvaitonakidza. But izvezvi taakunzwa vana maloti nalahulengende.
I get your point.
Ukunzwisisa kozi yanguva yavo yekupisa. So do you think kuti ivo babacharamba havasi kuimba izvezvi?
But I remember, pane point I told, I think in no point yakakosha. Point number one, you know, you talk about musicians up here, it's political. And,
yeah, zvafanana na Winky D. Winky D can sing. And like, he can sing internationally. I don't know my songs are Winky D eshirungu. Then Koto Japreza anoimba zvichivanhu anditi Shona pure Shona inonzukane susu mashona. But vanhu they will be like Japreza anoimba and Japreza anenge ashona wakaona the video of Manama.
Yeah, I watched Manama. Yeah.
Akawina People's Choice in there.
Cover.
Why?
Because people like him.
You see, we are Japanese.
You know, all right. I'll explain my point. According to my perspective, as an ex-musician and producer, I didn't make it as a musician, right? Not because
you can sing.
I can sing. I could play instruments, but I didn't pursue it because of socio-economic related issues. I thought to myself, okay, who is the richest guy in Zimbabwe? A musician. And what does it take for you to get there? What type of music genre are you supposed to do for you to get there? Are you going to be enjoying the career? So I discovered that there are rules. You know, I was locked up at an island and there are rules. You know, in as much as I know about other genres that can pay you as much, you can ask Zimbabwean producers that stayed in South Africa, that did their production in South Africa. They'll tell you, of course, with an exception, that guy from Blawayo, DJ Uyu. So, but most of the guys, it's really tough for you to join the international community. At the same time, it's tough for you. I can give you an example, Takura. Takura is, I think, in Zimbabwe, if there is any male vocalist that is so good, so consistent, so silky. We're talking about Takura, we're talking about Mbeo, and some other guys. But those two, they have got a commanding vocal. But
those in like Dara, we're listening to another Dara. Dara can sing.
Yeah,
she can sing, but you wanna now.
I wanted to lay my point this way. I remember in the early 2000s when were you born by then? Sorry. There was a policy, new law, new policy that was in place. There was a minister that said, okay, we're supposed to play 99.999% local content. You know what it did? It disconnected us. Of course, it was good because we were in a place to discover ourselves, but it disconnected us from the international community. That's when we, you know, the bedroom studios started sprouting because like everybody with a computer and a microphone could now produce the music. Everybody with, it wasn't the older process. That's why you see that music before that, it was a serious process. Like you would have to, when things were still analog, you wouldn't waste time. You would rehearse. So it was more about thorough articulation, So when you say politics, it's not just within the industry, it's the country's political status. And also remember that inviting artists now from outside the country, it was a bit difficult because now people around the world were being told Zimbabwe is a bad country, you can't go there if you're white. So imagine a white-owned production company couldn't come this side. Even companies like Sony, companies like every major entertainment company couldn't affiliate with us, and it's still difficult up to today, So for us to go out there, that's why you see that, all right, musicians, like when I say musicians, they say music is an art, but they are musicians that have got a musical ear. They know how to control their voice. They know how to play instruments. They can understand what I'm talking about. People get famous by chance, probably just because I like what you did. For an example, I can give you an example. Yeah, my artist, I get my clash here. A lot of artists that were there.
A cup clash.
Do you know some of them, they ended up there not because they are bad. It was just because people liked them. So that's the reality of things. But at the same time, we did not have like gatekeepers of quality. We were supposed to maintain quality over the years. Remember when Urban Grooves was introduced? Yes, we were enjoying, but we couldn't really export it. But we also, at the same time, we have people like...
But do you realize that that Urban Groove yakudara was something else than masonga kwemba izvezvi? Izvezvi pese inino kona ngomuka izvezvi ndakuimba. But kudhara wainjonyatsodzwa malyrics zvinyatso remember song yaye kuti chido unyatsodzwa kuti zviri kutaurwa zviri kutaurwa.
Who was producing his music? Who was producing Decibel's music? So we started disregarding the international relationship. We only some cultural and traditional bands were going to my festivals, going to Germany, South Africa, SA jazz festivals and stuff. Those bands, But Takasara, Panipatakano Sara Soga. Remember we had this guy called This guy was saying the song, saying goodbye, na na na. Very good music producer, very good musician, but he couldn't survive in the country. Like, we lost a lot of musicians. So there was...
So which means if you're in the music industry, you should be in the political...
No. What happens is, in as much as musicians do not want to affiliate themselves with any political party or something, whatever happens in the country politically affects you. It affects your career. Everybody gets affected, especially in the entertainment industry, because our entertainment industry was immature, if I may put it that way, to take care of musicians 20, 30 years from the time when we decided, okay, we want to do local content. Because back in the day, if you look at... was it the Jonas Brothers? Then we had the years of the Four Brothers. We had Tuku. We had, But most of these guys, they were doing world music and traditional music. Now transitioning into quality digital, we transitioned into digital music. But in terms of quality, our time signature already, culturally, our time signature, when I say time signature, is let me just say the rhythm. It's not so natural around the world. Our music would easily get classified as world music. People like Chwanizo, because it's a 6/8 or it's a 3/4 groove, of which normal beats that are being played at the clubs, it's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. But ours is like on the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, of which techno does have a signature like that and some other they call it not dance, some Euro music. But ours now, we couldn't digitalize our cultural sound. Because talking about Mseve is borrowed. It's not ours.
Yeah.
And also, even Mseve Wacho, we couldn't change Mseve from being
Mseve,
traditional to
something
to digital. Yes. Yeah. So if you go to America, to Nigeria, there's a guy called his name is Fela. Okay. All right. So the guy's name is Fela Kuti. I think he's the father of modern Afrobeat. Why? Because his rhythms, they were on a 4/4. So it's now very difficult for Zimbabweans to get into the international market simply because we took longer to transition into quality stuff. And for us to catch up, we are stealing beats samples from Afrobeats, from Nigeria. Okay, I'll give an example. 2 o'clock. I'll give an example. You find that in Seben. You find that in Nigerian Afrobeats. I don't know what they call it. They've got different names for Afrobeats in Nigeria, like culturally. But with us, down here in Zimbabwe, we didn't have a groove that go like, or a groove that went like with the swing. We didn't. So the reason why musicians in Zimbabwe are cheaper, it's because most of the music that we produce, it's not timeless, it's bubblegum, it's not quality checked. These countries, if you go to a person like a Burna Boy or Wizkid, they've got a consistent rig that they travel with. And they make sure that he has got a consistent rig, compressors, these artists, Zimbabwe unongona kuti maybe artist anotorira anofamba gadget kanenge kadai so kari vocal processor, and they will tell you, they'll argue with you kuti kanotoshanda katori boka kadaro. People are going to come after me for simply saying these things, but this is the truth. If you go to Europe and watch Europeans do their things, or when they come to South Africa, because in South Africa there is more exposure. Yeah. Quality over everything. We do have, of course, people like Janet Manyoa. Janet Manyoa is trying as hard as she can to match the standard. But how many people, she's not endorsed by the political system. Imagine if the political system would just say, if you want to do a show, at least make sure it's at the level of Janet Manyoa. You understand?
Not
who was going to?
No one.
Yes. Because they will be protecting the consumer by doing that. They'll be protecting the consumer's ears, because what happens is whatever we hear on the radio, whatever we see on the television, it creates a memory bank. So now,
because now I can see when we're talking about Zimbabwean artists.
Yeah.
If ever, maybe, ndutara example yana chakaita saWoliten. You see Woliten kuti angatori munhu akauya akatoimba zvekutodaro. Zvekutoti we're not expecting kuti angava atori palevel iroro.
Yeah.
So now look what is happening to him. I was very shocked last week. Last week paifana uya Woliten kushow. Paifana kuya ulengende kushow. Then they put Woliten. You know what Hulengende said? He wrote on his page on Facebook that he will not sing for peanuts, which really means kuti the money was not enough for him kuti awe uzoimba. But Woliten akaimba. Why Woliten akaimba? Pama peanuts here. Because now Woliten achagara kuzima, right? He's here. He's based here now.
I don't know about that.
I'm telling you. Okay. He's now staying here. So around, and I feel like it's also no after music industry, because now we can see Woliten pese.
Yeah, there's no more quality. There's no quality regulation, if I may put it that way. So what causes my musicians to appear? It's not just one thing.
But you see, it was because of politics. That's what I'm saying. The main reason why we are down in music and Tichipera is because of politics.
Yeah, of course. I wouldn't say his affiliation in politics, but I would say the political view of the country. It affects everything. And it kana nyika yenyu kanziwa pama sanctions mwana zvavarana uri pama 1 yo musician manganono zveku kana kuti eku Iran. But it's easy for you to know musicians eku America, Nigeria, South Africa, because those countries, they don't really get affected by sanctions. All right, I'm coming back to nyaya ndachitaura kuti kune chinhu chinonzi music memory bank. Right now, you can't go to a Zimbabwean and tell them Kuti Chapreza is not a good musician.
Yeah, the same thing that I was telling you.
You can't go to my Zimbabweans I'm trying to think of another. Okay, let's say Tami Moyo is not a good musician. You can't go to them and tell them, I can't go to all right, Tami is an average musician. If you say something like that, they're going to come after you. You can't go to my Zimbabweans and all that. No, in terms of musical understanding, clarity, and agility, skill, and it can per stage and all that. Yeah, we do look average in the eyes of Nigerians or in the eyes of the world in general. If you tell them that, they're going to tell you, Kuti, those people out there, they are not the audience. We are the audience.
So what are you saying, Kuti, Tofana in Zimbabwe to make our music boom?
There is nothing that you're going to do to change the Zim musicians.
Because I discovered even here in South Africa, my South Africans are skuterera music irikuridzwa nemaZimbabweans irikubudiswa now. Unonomlashira na song ya Mutukudzi back then. Why?
Chinhu chichachinja zvinhu zvese anditi anofanira kutanga kuchinja. It's the consumer, because it's like colonization. What happened to us as consumers in Zimbabwe is like colonization. Zvakafanana nekuti izvezvi ndikakudza kuti enda kucourt usina enda zama kuenda kucourt usina kupfeka suit kana kuti usina kupfeka formal anditi isu kumacourt kwedu traditionally taenda tine nembe anditi so iko zvino wakufanira kuenda uni sutu wakarwa bojens anditi. So that is the same thing that happened to the system or to the cultural norms of the consumers of music in Zimbabwe. There are systems that we have already put in place in our minds, and we're saying these are our standards, regardless of what you guys say. Even if you say it came through the era, the era when we were isolated, now it's part of us. We have adopted it. We are not going to change. You understand? So if the consumer's mind can be changed, then things will be okay. Because if the consumer can say, guys, you're giving us garbage. Guys, your show was wacky. The speakers were not sounding proper. Your dancers, they were not, like the choreography was not spot on. The lighting was bad. If there are critics, if there is a standard to every show, okay, on each and every show, we expect you are supposed to have at least minimum 30 security personnel. You're supposed to have police. You're supposed to have a backup power system. You're supposed to have a stage this much. If you're expecting a crowd like this, there are safety measures that you're supposed to go through. Are you going to do any broadcast? This is the loudness level that is required at this building. Because you go to the ghettos, people are just doing, okay, it might be too extreme when you go to places like ghettos. But I don't know. I'm not the solution. But what I can tell you is there is a need for an intervention from the political powers in the country when it comes to the entertainment, the arts and entertainment industry. But now it's late because we are already in an era of, what do you call this? AI. You check.
Yeah.
We're already talking about AI. So how are you going to... Like, we already left behind. We were singing that song, last year. It was made by AI. There are a lot of songs that we're now singing that are made by AI. And it's imitating our mistakes.
Yeah.
It's imitating what we have accepted as norms. Very soon you're going to be hearing an AI that's going to be sounding like Winky D, and we have to accept it. And in the eyes of the world, it's going to be our Japres and Winky D sound competing with Davido, Burna Boy, and Miley Cyrus, Chris Brown, whoever there, or like Travis Scott. Us will be presenting the Holy 10 sound. Then there will be what do you call this guy? I like this guy. Kanye West. He's going to be competing. All these. Remember, every futuristic AI that we're thinking of, it's based on what we are. The music AI is based off what we are experiencing right now, like what the music that we're producing right now. Because what AI does is it will take every bit and piece of our music. So it's like it combines all the 10,000 pieces online.
Yes, and
then
make
it picks one tiny.
And make it one.
Then make it one. That's why you hear that these days it's still sounding the same. But futuristically, it will be well humanized, that because it's already AI. It can process 60,000, 70,000, 80,000, 90,000, 100,000 things within a split second. You see, so once they upgrade it to that level, we are doomed. Our sound is going to be the sound of Maskiri, the sound of Holitain, the sound of Winky D, the sound of Japreza, the sound of, the undeveloped sound. So that's where we lost it. And we're getting into the next era, which is very serious digital era. If we were clever, if the political powers that are involved in music in Zimbabwe, that are especially the Ministry of Arts, they are supposed to start regulating our music so that when the data is being captured by the futuristic tech, they can capture the cream de la cream that can compete around the world.
Yeah.
Not necessarily meaning to say that there are no good musicians. They are. But like I gave you an example, we've got Takura, we've got Mbeu, but they are artists that are way above them, that get better gigs, better bookings. Why? Because in the clubs or maybe in places where they're supposed to perform, there are people, there is an audience that has consumed certain type of music over the years, and now it has become their like 80% of their memory bank.
And the other thing, you see, Kuti, Changati na Mtukudzi back then.
Yeah.
Mtukudzi aimba chishona chetere.
No, it's a good mix. He would even sing, he did Sensen.
Yeah. So now, imagine Kuti, izvezvi tinenge tichiti tina Japreza munhu mukuru ndiye ari nemangoma, as people are saying.
Yeah.
Japreza akaenda ku Nigeria anonziva nani. You see those people like Ana Davido, which you are talking about. Vanoimba nechirungu avapengi. I'm telling you, they're not crazy.
I wouldn't go as far as that, right? Like I told you, Japreza.
No, the point was not there.
Yeah.
Maybe I know him by Shona. The point was internationally.
Okay, remember I told you.
To go somewhere.
I told you about time signatures. Look at most of the beats that are being done by these guys. Even if you come here, my piano is a 4/4. Even the one that they are calling a three step, it's a 4/4 beat. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. When you are walking, you walk like 1, 2, 1. You don't say 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So naturally, even our heart, it goes like 1, 2, 1, 2. So our rhythmic time signatures, they are wacky. The 3/4 and the 6/8, they do not sell. These zvinosela kunyika dziri already established. If you want to go international fast, 4/4 beat, an element or a touch of your traditional or cultural, you resample it, then you sing in English.
That way, it's good. This is the same thing that I was saying earlier. Kutim, you said Ziniso Zotozita 1, 2, 3, 4 yarutaura using those instruments and stuff. And then Toimba Nechishona ere.
No, use English. And people don't get this.
But you know what?
We still need attention from the world.
Yeah, we're not international. And then you guys still say, Winkidi, I just say, because Winkidi can sing. Chirungu chocho wachina international. Urikona chizvezvi tine vafana vadiki vachangopinda vari kupisa vanenge vachiuya vachikopa from what they had before vachiimba neshona iyoyo. So do you think we're gonna go internationally?
Yeah, let's talk about Winky D, right? Winky D is now at an age where you can't change anything. Remember, Winky D didn't start today.
Yes.
Early 2000s, he was already there. He was already doing music.
Yes.
Then he built himself till now. So
kubva ipapo pa 2000 pakapinda Winky D.
Yeah.
Kusvika izvezvi. Kuna koku 2000 anga sikaimbe dzimbo dzechi.
Winky D aitoimba patwa like 100% patwa mama. Halama ukamuvunza kuno mumvese kuti ainzi Stepping Razor and some other guys vamwanga varipo. Vaitoimba patwa. Yeku Jamaica chaichayo. So patois is like English. Ineka English yakavunika waiza. Neka yakadonge pidgin. Not kuti zvakafanana, but I'm saying kuti pidgin English, but not only pidgin English. Iyo it's a Caribbean broken English. Dosa wacho not unokwanisa kutuinzo ukaterera paduza wanokata ma words. But he was already doing it, and remember kuti patois yanga yani influence around the world. Bob Marley was already famous. We had a lot of bands from Jamaica that were already famous by then. So had Winky D stayed on that trajectory, then alright. Also remember the title name first kuimba in my dream, Innocent.
I don't know his name, but I know the song.
Okay, probably. You're very young, I understand. So, they were on the right trajectory. But remember, they got disconnected. These guys, access, do you know what? Back in the day, artists used to be called by the international community. It's a festival. Artists used to be called.
And the other problem that we have with artists ngevari palevel raunofana kunge vari at some certain point, it's about the managers that we are having now, or munhu atechiti ndiye anenge achishanda na artist.
I won't blame it on the managers. You know why? Do you know what is a manager? You are managing what has already been established by somebody.
Yes, but you know kuti zvakafanana ne case yatinayo now is a trending case.
Yeah.
There's a kanyaya kari kubuda kuma social media platforms ka Madedido wakakanzwa.
Yeah.
Kekuti the manager took the pages because Madedido cannot write a message achitaura nema fans. Unzwisisa kana nema bookings ake kuti anenge aitirwa. You see kuti munhu anenge atori munhu anenge achitogona kana kuimba unoona. But now for the fact that he cannot write messages, he cannot take calls.
Yeah.
Akutobatirirwa. Zvotosvika pakuti manager yavo vanogona kutaura kuti handipo. Madedido murumda, but handisi around. Urgona. So now I think
it's a contribution. Like I that's why in Rajiti it's the regulatory standard that is supposed to come from the ministry. Whoever is responsible for the Ministry of Arts, and here anofanira kuisa zvinhu izvi pamutemo kutoti iwo kana uri artist ukabato una manager asiri affiliated with the industry nema industry standards, then Kudara, it was difficult for you to just become an artist. It was even better for you to be.
They should bring back that thing. I think and people they will become formal because there are some things that are happening. We
have already transitioned from the analog era. We are now in the digital era, and but the futuristic era, which is AI, which is so much influenced by AI, we have to correct. I think we are left with 2 years to correct this, or even 1 year to correct this. That is my point. Kuti, now we've got sound in Zimbabwe, alright, yeah, I know the Zim dance hall. How can we commercialize it in a way that it's consumable by the international community? Because magudi gudi, yes, but remember kuti unenge uchicompita nani munhu achitya kugara kuti makuseni anosvika achiteerera gudi here
ndozvandiri kutaura kuti zvanambotaura earlier gudi iya inonakidza ende inotinakidza
isusu
but gudi iya uchanoimba here kuNigeria uchakutora here mabookings kubhukwa kuNigeria uchinoimba zvezvi
yes ndopandiri kuti
zvakafanana nekuti munhu anouya pa anorekodha achiimba zvinonyadzisira and trust me munhu anotodiwa zvekutodaro nemafanzi but zvinonyadzisira izvo achanozviimba here kana kuti paita kana kuti musangano musvinu une maminista nemachicha achanoimba here izvo zvinonyadzisira pastage
which means kuti also our moral standards ndo mamwe futi anotidzorera pasi
ndo zvangachitaura earlier kuti andinoona kuti zvakafanana naJapreza anoimba zvemashave zvechivanhu zvechinyakare ukona he gets highly booked kuZimbabwe kokoshuwa kumatable anenge ane why because ari kuimba zvinhu zvaitika kana kudhara kuti hondo yamunanhingi runzwisa then papazoya kana kuti nini torione pattern rangu ndakutoimba kana zvandiriona zvikutoitika kana kuti nhingi ane magaro kana chichichi ukona do you think kuti iwewe ini ndichateererwa nemadhara aya
asi tozombokuteerera and they are going to slam you for that. They will make sure kuti your music is not
kana paredio uruzona nenyaya yekuti ndaimba zvinhu zvandiri kuona semaonero angu ndakaona this other clip on TikTok yesterday. I was laughing bro, I laughed. You know what happened? Andi pane disi ra Bulengende na Madidido recently rukuitika. Vane madisa vari kupotserana. So vakabudisa rhythm inonzi arina zita. So I saw this other guy on social media singing vulgar words on that rhythm.
Yes.
And you know what he had liked to say.
I saw the video.
The video. Video, I don't know never like saga, I want to say.
Yes.
But you forgot your money, kana lo say asonya so yimba song ya tunya so no isa pa machine so. Do you think kuti ishatelerwa kana nevanhu?
They won't.
Kana uri mu office makwe wakaisa kana my phone. Kana unoza my phone kuchiridza
most of the music ndosaka chona kuti ma artist anozama kuita izvi. There's an artist wamamchiridza manje muno studio. Anonzani? Nyasha David. And you may find out kuti people, there are fewer people who would prefer, maybe people in the urban spaces are the ones, a fraction of them that are going to consume and stream his music and support him. Why is that? Ndosapenda taura nyaya kuti
masongs ayana Nyasha David ayanoda vanhu vanenge vatori mulafu urunzwisisa iwe utofunga kana munhu wako uona like situation yakanyatsokukuomera uri pamahwani magudu maya unengochitorada.
Why is that? Ndosaka ndiri
kuti and like trust me kuti ndo aunoridza every day because izvezve life yakaoma unotoda rusha rware kufunga Nyasha David wakaisa kana volume yese do you think kuti anoyasorira
one depression
zvinotoda uri mulafu une mari.
All right, so point yandoda kutaura also ndeyekuti saka wazonzwisisa here contribution ya consumer and the board responsible for taking care of musicians.
Yes, I do
or
understand.
Creatives. So ndopandiri kuti there is also panechi chimwe chacho chiriko kuZimbabwe kumusoro kuchikuti our cultural heritage
comes first.
Ichocho manje chiribo but vanhu vari kusimbisa they can't really export the Zimbabweanity that much. Why? Because they don't have my international projects. But where do Makuruan? I don't try. Why is that? I not roa and the na Queen Chi. Why is that? But the team the average vachatinakidza kumba kwedu but avasi chawasiri kuona ndechekuti vari kuzvipedza pachezvavo sema artist by kusimbiswa pazvinhu zviri
even kusimbiswa but then you see kuti there are some vana andinoona kuno ku South Africa with amapiano anenge I feel like amapiano is more on a beat
It's only in South Africa mune magenre akawanda mune house kuita deep house kune mapiano kune 3-step
kune kwaito
kune kwaito. So all this music and it, do you know kuti ukaita one song one hit song unoavoida utengemba.
Yeah, ukona like what I'm trying to say. Zvakafanana nevanhu vakaita sana Scott Mapuma. Ukona kuti akadomboiswa kaheti nevanhu. But yeah, akamirera kupisa.
Aubiri kupisa.
So chindu dzoti uri paZimbabwe uriwe hako Scott Mapuma. Vanhu kuheta unoenda kupi?
Aupaponi zvatodhakwa wani.
So like iye anga already paakatoiswa vanhu pavakamuheta already iye anga to investor. And akanotaura kuti nini handisikundo apologize. This is me. Unzwisisa. Zvafanana naShebeshita wekusungwa. Shebeshita anotopusha mafans achinovapa mambama. Unzwisisa. But mudance make munotozara. But ndiani wewe wekupusha munhu kuZimbabwe?
Zvatodhakwa.
Ndijamaster. Akanobhutsura feni. Ana uzoendera mboko feni unokumbira regerero. Unorowa nemakeni zvekuti wega unoyazona kuti panapa.
And chinhu chandoda kuti vanhu vanzwisise handiti Peti ndechekuti entertainment is explicit. The moment you try to cap it too much, you will be killing the artists themselves. And the artists that embrace that moral capping, they don't know. They are killing their futuristic potential. Because that's why I find out that even in America, you can go to the same event where Kirk Franklin is, Beyonce is there, whoever is there, and whoever is there. Even the old jazz artists, they are going to be at the same event. It's just a general event. But for us,
I want to speak for my promoters as well in music industries. Guys, msati urairo ngoma.
Oh, how?
Unoona kuti promoter anodedza munhu kana ubva kuZimbabwe. Kana kuti create a post. What recently happened in December? Create a post. Let me start 24 December. Kuti they're gonna be Windsor in Kempton Park Amex. Which Windsor is not gonna be there? Windsor atori kuZimbabwe akarara nemukadzi wake akutoita life yake. And then vanhu voenda unotenga matickets. Ungunzwisisa. Windsor oregedza kuya. Vanhu obvious vachaita sei vachatsamwa. Do you think kuti mangwana pakanzi pane next maybe January tina Windsor? Vanhu vachatoita vanenge vakutonga kublame Windsor.
Do you know kuti
but ari promoter anyepa kuti munhu ari kuya. So ndo vanhu kuti vanenge vachiura FT career after yeshi.
Artist.
My artist. Because in ndishati andiskwenda kushoya Windsor because I paid my 200 and he didn't come. Kana ndichaenda pa page ba Windsor nononyona na matushi.
Ma reviews ekupenga.
Kuti auye kwanenge adedzwa oro chichichichi. Same applies which this thing which happened kuna Oliten. It was supposed to be Hulengende. Isusu tese taitozoti no Oliten were with him December. Takatopinda naye New Year. So atingakwanisa kuva naye that time cause tati naye avana kutuudza kuti Hulengende ari sikukwanisa kubatika. They continue pushing the post in our Hulengende. Hulengende didn't come. And you know kuti zvinozoboa vanhu chi my fans is that Hulengende same day akatonzi ari pa post akaita live ari kuZimbabwe namaloti. Vachoendawo kuri mwono kusamwe kutonobhura dance. Official andiblame Hulengende kuti ari unobhura dance nemukadzi wake. Wando akublame ndipromote. Because aramba akaisa munhu pa post.
Imwe problem the regulation. Panofanira kuita inonzi performance visa. Whenever an artist okay, the best thing that can then happen is before vanhu vatanga kutenga matickets panofanira kuva ne performance visa inenge ichienderana ne board of South Africa Entertainment.
That's why now whenever pakuya munhu kushow they do confirm on their pages.
No, pages are not enough. You're supposed to, because do you know kuti iwo ndakamboenda, I once did a gig with Rangarana na Winnie Mashaba. It was a gospel gig and stuff. You know, taenda ku Zimbabwe. Do you know takanovunzwa license yekuti makapiwe license yekuti uye auye kuzoperform, and all the shows were a flop. because
you didn't have that license.
no, besides the way we did it, once a performance visa is confirmed, it can even be aired on radio stations. And it because chinozoita kuti vasazokwanisa kuzoipusha kuma-radio stations inyaya yereputation anga chizokuti munhu wawo asi kuuya kana munhu awana kupedza kubhadhara mari zvakanaka, so munhu anogona kudi kushaiwa, so it will ruin their reputation.
Even though now futhi ma-artist they should clarify to us isusu as mafans urona iwe unogona kuti torifanira kana rangu ndiri artist unzwisisa ini ndofana iwe unofanira kugena trust kwandiri pakuti kana ndisina kuuya kushow you have to say wangu pane imwe show yakamboitwa I think 2 years ago yana maititi vakanotaura maititi panonzi pachi papage pavo kuti sorry zvenyu mafans angu asi kukwanisa kunge ndiriko kushow because mari yandapuwa ishoma ende havasi kuda kundipedzisa mari.
Why would a show be confirmed?
It was good
before?
That way.
No, sure. I finally confirm your poster kana mari dzapera kubhadhara. How can you don't Pepe Patash Torot? It's an involvement of quite a number of parties.
No, some we know what they do.
Yeah.
Panokupa half of the money which you want, then the other one you get it after the show. But you know ndakatozo realize that most of my artists in Zimbabwe like Vanakilati, they do their own shows. Do you know that? Which anoti here in I'm gonna book maybe a mix kuti ndokwandikuitira show yangu and then the gate man is mine. You see that kind of shows and my shows akadaro anenge ari right ku artist as well because anenge azoti mari yake ari kuiona kana iri 200 iri kuya iri 200 ndiye achizobvisa kuti ndakapinza mabounce and stuff, so zvakafanana neiya mashow anoitwa nemapromoters aupe munhu mari yese kwakasauya.
Yeah, of course I understand, but problem iripo ndonyaya ndachitaura kuti panofanira kuva a regulatory board riripo whenever somebody needs to do a show, because that will ensure my standards mu industry. Kana akadecide kuti ndoda kuita show yangu, there is supposed to be a formal registration to the Board of Entertainment in whatever country that they are going to.
So you're trying to say there is no formal way of...
No, they just decide, book a venue and then print posters and then they do their thing. That's why you see that we can't even penetrate into the local industry. But when these guys from here are going home, it's easy. It's not
but
easy.
It's true, because they
go through the whole process.
Even here in South Africa, they don't have that thing.
No, they do.
They don't.
They do.
You know why I'm saying they
performance international.
Look what they do
regulation.
to that guy in Nigeria. That guy we akazostuck ku Nigeria akatanga kufonera vanhu kuti ndipewo mari ndastuck. You see? Yeah. I think you have a point on why you have to do it in a formal way.
Yes, do it in a formal way, because if you
because now abanaka kwatoka sakana kuti tisuwe munhu kuti ana kuuya tampa mari. Because it's between me and you.
So here in South Africa, I know some promoters are now using CompuTicket. So with CompuTicket, if an artist doesn't come,
even now in Zim, Zim shows, even now in Zim shows, it's more of that. They are doing it in that man. Because I see kuti maposte sa akubuda ema shows, ema Zim shows.
And actually confirmed.
Yes, aningane ma
a refund number or communication contact.
Ne those tickets that you can buy in ShopRite and stuff. Kuti zine legit.
Yeah, because if the artist doesn't show, I do have a right to go and complain, unless that they put a law that says once you buy a ticket,
it's done. We are stupid one. Tinozongotura mabhodhoro tutanga kukanda tutura kana zvinhu zvemomomo. Like what happened in December, bro? I was shocked. You know, I almost died. People, they were throwing tables in Amix, Habli, they were doing a mess. Now in Amix, you can't buy Habli if you are like in general. you only buy Hable when you are in VIP. Because of that, Windsor didn't come, and people they were expecting Windsor to come, and it was a short notice show. It was a 1 week notice show. Kuti pakazongoiswa post remun. But we could try. Kuti as make sense. Some show is there's a show Freeman, this big show which is happening at Civic Center. This show I think had to almost 3 months. Kuba last year you should go advertise.
Hey.
And then you buy a ticket and Freeman how do you feel?
How do I feel? Anyway, we're going to conclude it right here because of our time, but we still have to talk about this. Like, there's a lot that is happening within the entertainment industry with Zimbabwe that we can change. We still have time. Like I said, maybe to start about 2 years or less. Kuti ti upgrade our identity on the international stage. Otherwise, from me, Ron Wayez, alongside Petty in the studio right here at Voice Amplified Podcast. Shout out to our crew, everybody. Yeah, I see some people kind of sleepy, but anyway, till next time. Thank you once again. Remember to follow, like, share, subscribe, and always bring in those stories. We want to be talking about them each and every time we find time to do so. But tinoti maitabasa siyabonga. Thank you.